Train, one of the fastest mode of transportation that Africa is now adopting to add it to its development list. Okay, Africa is trying to add trains to for transportation and also to develop their developing cities to enhance the transportation of goods and services and people too. There's something I found on X, and then we are about to discuss Africa's fastest countries with the fastest trains, and also get to know how better the continent is doing. But before that, let's see this. Okay, so see what I found from African Fast Zone. Nigeria has the fastest trains in Africa. The two Talgo Intra-City 10 coach metropolitan trains on the Lagos Red Line Metro have a speed of 330 kilometers per hour. Wow, so they are saying that Nigeria, Lagos, one of the most populated and the most beautiful cities in Africa, have the fastest trains in Africa. Wow, wow, wow. Now let's check about the list of African countries with the fastest trains. Okay, let's see. All right, so the list of African fastest trains. Number 1 is Nigeria, the Red Line Metro Agbado Aigbo in Lagos State. That is 330 kilometers per hour. Number 2 is Morocco. Al Borak high-speed rail service from Casablanca Time to have 320 kilometers per hour. Number 3 is Egypt, high-speed rail lane having 250 kilometers per hour. Number 4 is South Africa, good train speed rail system linking Johannesburg, Pretoria, Okoli, and then OR Tambo. Wow, I have some wrong with that name though. Having 160 kilometers per hour. Number 5 is Algeria, from El Kas Al Nassar light rail lane is 160 kilometers too. Number 6 is Senegal. Senegal Regional Express Train, that is RTE, having 160 kilometers per hour. Number 7 is Ethiopia, Djibouti, Addis Ababa Railway, having 160 kilometers per hour. Number 8 is Tanzania, Standard Gauge Railway, having 160 kilometers per hour too. Number 9 is Tunisia Station to Bogota Station Rapid Railway, having 120 kilometers. And then lastly, number 10 is Kenya, Mombasa Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway, having 120 kilometers per hour too. So this list is actually talking about Africa's fastest railway or rail trains in Africa, and Nigeria having a 330 kilometers train, and then Morocco having 320 kilometers train per hour too. So the top 3 or the top 4, or the top 5 is Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, South Africa, and then Algeria. So 1 Western Africa, 3 North Africa, and 1 Southern Africa in the top 5 fastest train networks in Africa. That is impressive, you know. That is beautiful. But as this was shared, some Africans were actually finding it a little hard to believe that Nigeria actually have the fastest train. Even some Nigerians also doubt it though. So this one says, no train in Nigeria has a speed of 330 kilometers per hour. This is an unfounded claim. The highest this type of train can do is 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, so that is a Nigerian too. A lot of Africans and Nigerians were actually not believing that Nigeria should actually have that 330 kilometers per hour train. So I decided to actually do some small research and see how true all their claims are. So this one, it says, Lagos become the city with the fastest trains in Africa. So it says, the Nigerian city of Lagos, which is the second most populous city in Africa, now has the fastest trains on the continent. According to the Business Insider Africa, with a top speed of 330 kilometers per hour, the city recently acquired a set as part of its plan to launch the Red Line Metro project, a 37-kilometer intercity railway system. Wow, so African Insider actually saying that Nigeria actually have a train that is about 330 kilometers per hour. So it's not actually that false. Okay, so as a Nigerian, if you have any doubts, you should actually ask the Business Insider why they are saying that. Okay, well, it also says, according to the International Railway Journal, the trains were built by Talgo Group, a Madrid-based manufacturer of high-speed passenger trains, for operation in the U.S. Midwest more than a decade ago. The trains, which never entered traffic, will move now to Nigeria, where they will be used for community service in Lagos. Okay, so if you're Nigerian, you're doubting this. Actually, there's actually a speed train in Nigeria, and that have 330 kilometers per hour. Okay, so Nigeria has the fastest trains in Africa. If you're doubting this, African Insider actually shared this, and then that's it. That's something about it. So, but we actually do more research about it to see if there's more to it than how we expected or how we are seeing it. Okay. So this is some small thing about African time. Hope you have learned something, and then there's more to it in my next episode. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share, and also comment. That's the most importantly. Comment and let's know what you think, and also let's learn Africa together. Okay. This is Vidashi Studios. My name is Vidashi SA. Let's have some time with Africa. See you guys around.